Hello there. Yes, we are back and we are geeks assembled, and there's quite a few of us here today, and we have gathered to talk about Blake's 7, Seek, Locate, Destroy. And there's no Daleks in it. No, I know, but it's written by Terry Nation. And let's have opening thoughts. Let's start off with Susan, because I know she's dying to talk about this. But try to contain yourself, Susan. Just opening thoughts. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Susan, and I like Blake 7. I got a little hooked on it. I started watching just random episodes. I watched a couple from like the later series, and I just, the Seek, Locate, Destroy had a lot of good stuff in it. It was really interesting. It had a great baddie in the Federation people. They were rather intense, and the Blake 7 people, even though they're, even though what's her name wasn't a criminal yet, she became a criminal through this whole process. She joined the ranks of being, on the outs from the Federation and everything. And so that was, it was really great. It was a sweet heist of stuff, and they did it in space, which was awesome. It's good science fiction.
And let's go to Alex. Just quick opening thoughts, Alex, on this episode of Blake 7.
Yes, it gives you an introduction of the characters. It gives you the introduction to Servalan and Travis, the bounty hunter, as I like to call him, with the bionic hand, which is pretty good for 1977. And that's one of the reasons why I like about 94% of the show, because I feel like it should have competed with Star Wars, and it had a lot more characters and a lot more women characters. That's why I liked it.
And Beef Dad, just opening thoughts. We'll go to characters and that in a bit.
I used to love Blake 7. I watched it from when it was first aired, and it was one of the coolest programs on television at the time. And it was one of those ones that you'd hear people talking about it on the bus on your way to work.
Can I ask a question? Even more so than Doctor Who?
No, not more than Doctor Who, because I think the people that were talking about it were older. It was the older generation who, rather than the kids, who were the kids were really into Doctor Who, but the slightly older people were so into Blake 7. I mean, my father was well into Blake 7. He loved it. It was the one where they really introduced the villains into the story. Servalan and Travis. And Servalan was going to run all the way through it, and Travis, probably one of the most evil villains you could possibly find. So, and for me, just absolutely brilliant.
Jason, just opening thoughts.
Well, this is like the second episode I've watched. Still not used too much of the characters at the moment until I watched the whole series of it. But it was interesting. I mean, of course, some of the effects are just a bit corny when it comes with the teleporting, but that's my opinion. But then again, it's from the late 70s, so I like that slide. So, yeah, it's got some interesting moments. Definitely interesting villains in it. Definitely for me, actors. I mean, I'll get to that. Well, with Paul Darrow, I remember him from Time Lapse, I think, if that's him. One of the guys from Time Lapse I was familiar with. The woman I was familiar with back from the not the two doctors. No, was it two doctors? Yeah. Also, Peter Miles, I'm familiar with him, who has been appeared in a couple of Doctor Who stories. Definitely interesting characters there, but I'll talk more about the characters later.
Yep, that's fine. Lee, opening thoughts. And I have to say the what Jason said about the teleporting. Yeah, it was a bit. It looks a bit dated, doesn't it? That teleporting.
Well, it was 1978. And
yeah, I know.
You've got to realise they had the same budget as Doctor Who. But as it has been said, this was the adult sci-fi, shall we say, because this was broadcast about, I don't know, 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night. It wasn't a tea time kids program. You know, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows, but for the first episode, which we haven't, this is episode 6, what we're talking about. In the first episode, saw how adult it was. Blake was framed by the Federation for child molestation. That's, you know, you don't get that in Doctor Who. So this was like the older brother of Doctor Who, shall we say? The as you say, created by Terry Nation, who we all know did the Daleks. But yeah, it's of its time. I mean, it lasted 4 seasons, and you can tell the budget's not there, but it's still good storytelling and good locations as well.
Yeah, for me, I've never seen this before, ever. I mean, I know of Blake 7. Of course I do. I mean, most people, they know of Blake 7, even if they haven't watched it. But I've never watched an episode. I've never listened, because Big Finish have done some, haven't they? And I've never listened to the Big Finish ones. So coming in on episode 6, did you say this was? Yeah. It probably isn't the right time to start watching it, but it does have a Farscape feel about it. Just it doesn't have the aliens of Farscape. In fact, it doesn't have any aliens at all. It's just all human beings, and you've got a robot, of course. That robot, which the robot.
Well, can I just interrupt there? Callie is an alien.
Oh.
She's a telepathic alien, the one who got caught by the Federation and tortured.
I don't think any of the humanoids are Earthlings. I think that they're all from different planets.
Just turn your microphone round, Susan, because you sounded really, really quiet my end.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I think that the humanoids are all aliens. I don't think that they're actually from planet Earth.
Yeah, but what I mean by it's not like Farscape, as in you've got so many alien creatures, physical alien creatures. You can see, they might be aliens, but the human aliens sort of thing, It's not like Farscape where you got Dargo, you got all those other characters, Rigel, just look alien. But of course, like Lee says, Farscape is obviously done on a bigger budget, isn't it? And this wasn't. So
the other thing, Alan, too, I don't know if that was also budget or if they were trying to, be like a more adult version or compete with Doctor Who of not having a lot of aliens. But there were other episodes where they had aliens and killer androids and things like that.
Let's go on to favorite characters. Who wants to start this one off?
I will.
I'll go in, Susan.
Go ahead, Susan.
Okay. I liked Callie. Like I was saying, I liked how this was the story that started her being part of a bona fide part of the team for the the fact that she was caught and criminalized through this show, and Servalan was a great foil for Blake and his crew. So fun.
Who wants to go next? Favourite characters, remember?
I've got several. I mean, I love Villa and Avon. They work so well together. Those two characters, Villa the cowardly thief, and Avon the computer tech. But they're always at loggerheads all the way through the series, and those two work so well together. And for me, Travis, who's the villain, the bounty hunter, brilliantly played by Stephen Grief. He's the best Travis because in season 2, someone else plays Travis. For me, this is the best Travis. Of course, you've got the Space Vixen Servalan, played by the brilliant Jackie Pierce. She is just evil incarnate, sexy and evil. That's the way to be. She.
No, go ahead.
I know what was that.
No, I was going to ask that. Did they change? They changed the actor who played Travis, then, did they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, Stephen Grace couldn't do it, or he decided he didn't want to do it after the first season. I don't know if it was wet commitment. I don't think it was. It might be wet commitment. I don't know. He couldn't do it. I mean, even Blake disappears at the end of season 2.
Does he? And it's his show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the lead character.
I'm not. But if you answer it, I'm not going to go into what happens and stuff like that. But it's if you want to find out, you've got to watch it all the way to the very last episode.
Anybody else who wants to go next? Alex, favorite character?
I mean, I really did like Travis. There was 2 actors. It is kind of interesting, but it's also interesting that he has an eye patch, which is a little funny, of the pirate, and then he's got the bionic hand, which is also with a gun on it. That's also kind of reminds one of a
Darth Vader.
Yeah, and he's very cold, and it is a great suit. And then I like the fact they bring in his assistants, the mutoids, so there's another alien there. And of course, Servalan is always good. I think it says here, what was it? Brian Croucher was the second season. But I mean, the way that they, become these really opposed, bad guy, black guy, white guy suit, cowboy suit type of thing. And then the way they know each other so well and they interplay. And then it's also interesting how the story changes and it becomes part morality play and part strategy and stuff. And we've mentioned it before about Blake Seven and, whether it's the Magnificent Seven or the Dirty Dozen. But as I said, I also like the fact that you have, good grief, I just forgot her name, Callie, and you have Jenna. And there'll be other female characters as you watch further on in the next, series and the series after that. And that's another thing I always liked about Blake Seven is not only Avon and Blake and Villa, but also strong female characters when people are always complaining that there's not strong female characters.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. What about Beef Dad? Favourite characters?
Servalan was absolutely brilliant. There wasn't a great deal for her to do in this, but later on in the series, she turns in some incredible performances. And the woman is just, she conveys evil so brilliantly. And she really, really, I used to look forward to the episodes that had a lot of Servalan in because I knew that they'd be good. Yeah, Travis. Yeah, like every good, really evil villain, he wears a mask.
Yeah, you have to. Part of the job description.
Yeah, it seems to be. But one thing that nobody's mentioned is the computer. Zen. I love Zen. I always loved Zen. He was one of the most sarcastic computers you'll find.
is that it? Well, let's go to Jason. Favorite characters?
There isn't really much character to stand out for me at the moment until I know the series more, but I guess I would say Travis is an interesting villain, but with Jack, like everyone else says about Jacqueline Pierce, definitely a very interesting evil woman. I'm definitely going to be interested to watch the series even more so I can get to know the characters even more. I mean, at the moment, I really don't know the characters much, so I can't really say much of opinion at the moment. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I've got to echo the same as Jason, really. I can't really comment on the characters, but I thought all the acting was good. I mean, I thought all the acting was good. But the characters, I don't really know. I mean, I've only watched this episode. So let's go on to favourite moments. What's everybody's favourite moments? Who should we start off with? Who wants to go first? I have to say, I like the how he turned the tables on the guy at the end, how Blake turned the tables. That was good, because I thought he was going to get captured. And then he outsmarts him because he knows him, doesn't he, because he thought he was dead. But he ends up being alive and all that. Who wants to go for favourite moments then?
Well, I like you learn the background of Travis and Blake because they're sort of telling the story at the same time. And Travis is just out for revenge and he wants to kill Blake. As you say at the end there, where he does turn it around on him, he transports down into the room while he's out there. But yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, it's that favourite moment, but it just makes me laugh. It just shows you the low budget they've got. Is the security robot at the beginning?
Yes, yeah.
It does. You think, very
That's the first scene as well.
Yeah, very reminiscent of 70s Doctor Who. That Matt Irving to blame for that.
It could have been in Doctor Who, that monster. It could have.
Matt
only been in Doctor Who.
Matt Irving did that, and he also did a lot for Doctor Who, all the models and stuff like that. But favourite. I just love the way the characters work together, gel together as a team. And as Beef Dad said, Zen, it's a brilliant ship's computer on the Liberator, voiced by Peter Tudenham. I think he did a few of the Daleks back in the 60s. I think so. But later on in the series, they do get another computer as well, Aurak, which is oh yes. You wait till you see Aurak. And on to the next person.
One of the moments that I've always loved from this episode, and it made me laugh at the time. It made me laugh again when I watched it yesterday. And he was trying to get in, and they were trying to get in and out of the building to steal the decoder. Restal turns around and said, "There isn't a lock I can't open if I'm scared enough."
Oh, yeah.
And that really it sums up Restal. He's just brilliant. And let's see, what was wrong? I think it was Cully said they're taking too long, and Avon says that's the trouble with heroics, they seldom run to schedule. But yeah, there's some wonderful wit in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just like the, we know that Paul Darrow and Jacqueline Pierce and Michael Keaton, who plays Villa, was also in some Doctor Who, or one Doctor Who story. But it's so funny how Villa sort of does the Tom Baker thing, and he keeps talking to the two guards while Blake's coming up behind. And I'm like, wouldn't the guards just, handcuff him or something? But yeah, you have a lot of funny things. Even Gan's like, "Come on, Villa," and help me. And then isn't there the scene where Villa comes to the door where Callie's holding the workers hostage and goes, "Oh, the alarms are going off. I thought I'd just let you know." I was like,
Yeah, that made me laugh. Yeah, that made me laugh. Yeah.
Villa is the sort of a cowardly comedian of the gang.
That did make me laugh. That did.
Yes. So you have a lot of sort of erudite put downs. You have a lot of big vocabulary when it's it's still an insult, but they had to dress it up back then. I don't think they'd be doing it quite the same way today. It's too bad it can't come back, because I think it would make a great TV show, actually, or a great movie if they could bring it back. But it's also on Big Finish, so.
Yeah, it's also on Big Finish.
So.
Susan, favourite moments? We haven't asked you yet, have we? I don't think, no.
I kind of like what you lot have said. I thought it was funny when she comes running in. Just to let you know that the alarms are going off and and the hero is never on schedule. That was quite a line and a chuckle, and I love that at the end where the ship is going and they think that they've gone all the way faster and further away than the Federation can track them, and they're still tripped up by the fact that the Federation figured out that they stole the decoder. So I don't know, it's just a great show. And the line "seek, locate, and destroy" was about the spaceship and not the people, but the spaceship. So that was fun. That was really fun.
You just want to go seek, locate, destroy. That's all you want to do, isn't it? That's how you want to say it.
I mean, I thought also that's what Servalan said, that's what Travis, mission was to.
Yeah, she said seek, locate, destroy. Yeah, she actually said those words. Yeah, to him. Yeah. So, Jason, have we been to you for favourite moments? I don't think we have.
My favorite moments was what Beef Daddy even mentioned about with Villa and Blake in the beginning, just with them going outside, with them even sneaking and attacking the security guards, and with the whole robot, the corny-looking robot showing up. With I think it's Villa that was messing with security stuff or whatever that was, and Blake's trying to call his name out when the robot was coming. Then later on, Villa goes into the door, and with Blake trying to find him, and then when they lost the robot, then with Villa mentioned he was a coward. Definitely really enjoyed like you guys mentioned the scene about with the whole alarm system going off. That was definitely a good one. Rest of the other scenes my memory's fading away from, besides with Travis mentioned about Blake, about him knowing him in the past and had issues with him in the past, and Blake even mentioned how he had issues with Travis in the past, and the conversations between Jacqueline Pierce character and also what's his name, Peter Miles character. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to start watching the rest of the series so I can know the series even more, because since it seems to be more like the adult version of Doctor Who, I think I'm more interested in the series as I am now.
Oh, that's good. So let's go into additional information. Does anybody have anything else to add? Lee, I think, has something to add when he unmutes himself.
Good cast. You guys are great. You guys know so much about this. It's really fun to do.
Oh, I'm an expert on Blake 7, Susan. I'm just an expert. I know it all. You ask me any question about it, and I will tell you. I'm like the guru. I'm like the Blake 7 guru.
Then, Ellen, what's the name of the Blake's spaceship?
Celia. Celia.
Celia.
It might not be said in the show, but he calls her Celia. He strokes her. And go, hello, Celia.
Right. Celia. I think on that note, you should go on to final thoughts and scores.
And like Lee says, let's go to final thoughts and your score. Let's go to Beef Dad since he's just unmuted himself.
Well, I really enjoyed this episode. It had the highest ratings of any episode of Blake 7.
Oh, what did it get?
I think it was about 9.4 million. But this was the episode with the highest rating.
Is that good for that time? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the only other one that was coming anywhere close to it was Doctor Who, because they were getting to at least 10 million for a good episode at that time. Yeah, it's great fun. Loved it. And in memory of my father, I think I'll give it a 10.
A 10. Thank you, Beef Dad. Let's go. Who wants to go next? Lee, you can go next.
I agree with what you said earlier. Episode 6, you shouldn't start at episode 6 if you've never seen Blake 7. But this was just because this was the first appearance of Servalan and Travis. We went for this one. If you want to learn about the characters and get to know them well, start from episode 1, season 1, and work your way through all 4 seasons. You will laugh, you will cry, you'll enjoy it. I'm giving this episode a 8 because an 8. There's a lot more better episodes out there, but this was just for the introductions of the 2 main villains. We did this one.
Let's go to Susan. Just your final say and your score.
All right. I really like this. I found Blake 7 audios to be interesting and intriguing, and they recast them, and I found that the TV show was great, and I'm just going to keep streaming and watching all of the Blake 7 episodes I can find. I might watch the whole shebang. I might binge watch the whole show. It's fun, and it's outer space, and it's not it's not, it's nothing like Star Trek, but it's very like Star Trek. And
it's more Farscape.
It's nothing like Farscape, but it's very like Farscape. It's all the good stuff. It's just like, there's a lot of similarities, but it's very different, and it's very fun to and viva la différence. If we're speaking Latin earlier, we're going to speak a little French now. So
we're going for all the languages today.
I just really like it. So I guess I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10, and I think they're all on YouTube, are they, Lee? Because I watched this on YouTube. Are they all on YouTube?
Most are. I think season 1 is, but I think if I look properly, you mostly found all 4 seasons on there. Yeah.
I'm surprised when you sent me the YouTube link, because usually they don't allow these things on YouTube now,
whatever you do not watch the last episode before anything else.
Will they all die?
Oh, you spoil sport.
It's quite well known that they all die. Anyway,
Avon doesn't die. You don't see him.
They'll go down to the library.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alex, final thoughts and say. I didn't even know you were there. I was going to come to you last.
You don't see Avon dying, but he is pretty trapped. And that's the thing that makes Blake 7 interesting, is it is a dystopian it is a dystopian universe. People don't trust one another. You are getting drugged in the air and the water and the food. The Federation is not a good entity like it is in Star Trek. It is a war going on. It is British, so it does use some of the same actors and concepts as Doctor Who, but they don't have the budget. But at the same point, like I said, you have a lot of female characters and a lot more to come. So that's another reason to watch it. And it has a lot of good characters, actually, and a lot of good villains as well. So even if you find a story that you think sort of meanders or whatever, there's enough cast that it picks up. So in some ways, it's sort of a TV show that combines a lot of the items and the subjects that Doctor Who couldn't or wouldn't cover because it was too adult back then in the 60s and 70s. Not that Doctor Who didn't, but it had more characters anyway. So you could watch Blake 7 just based on more male characters and more female characters, and you have a female villain, which is even more racy for the time if you think about it. So I'll give the episode a 9, but that's also because I like the characters and I like the sleight of hand that goes throughout the whole story.
And let's go to Jason for your final say and your score.
Interesting storyline, interesting characters. Woken up with great characters like Callie and Travis on this one. I would definitely say this 8.5 out of 10. And
now to me, it's a real difficult one because, like I said, I've never seen it before. I've never listened to any of the audios. I've never watched an episode. So it's really difficult to actually score. But I enjoyed it, and I will definitely go and watch the first episode because I think you really do need to start from the first episode. So because of that, because it's made me want to go and watch the first episode, I'm going to give this episode an 8 because there's probably better episodes out there, but this I think it was an 8. I think, that's why I'm going to give it an 8. So that's it. Yes, that's your lot. We're all off to Germany because Beef Dad's going to throw us a party. Can you believe it? He's been very generous. He's opening the champagne cabinet and everything. We're going to raid wine. And
has he got a cabinet just for champagne?
Yes, he has. You didn't know?
Oh, I didn't know that.
No. Oh. Find out everything these days. We've got our little hackers at the work,
Luckily, he's muted, so we can't hear it.
I keep my Moet Chandon in a little cabinet.
Anyway, on that note, we're off. Tell us what you think below about Blake 7, Seek, Locate, Destroy. And no, it doesn't have Daleks in, I know. But it's written by Terry Nation. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think about Blake 7 in general. And if you want more bizarre, weird casts like this, and you do want to see us again, then hit that subscribe button. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to see this lot again? I mean, you've got Susan. Look at, she's a bundle of joy, Susan. She's getting married to Alex. I bet you didn't know that. Yes, they're going up the aisle together. And then you've got Jason and Lee. Oh dear, we better go now, wouldn't we? Yes, we better go. Hit that like button and we'll see you next time.